This video is for Unit D, working with a chart. And today I'm going to go over a few items with charting. And first off, I want to just prepare a basic chart. Not much to it. I'm just going to select the cells that I want to include in my chart. I don't want to include that total line, just the first, second, and third, and fourth quarter. And if you went already through your activities, you've already gone through this. But I'm going to go in, I'm going to insert, and I'm going to click on the chart area. I'm going to click on column, and I'm going to select a 2D column. And let me move this over so I can see my data still. And what I've actually created is an embedded chart. I had a choice. I can actually create the chart and put it on another spreadsheet, or I can embed it in part of my worksheet here. Remember that for your quiz. But let's look at this. A couple things I want to point out. Graphs have what they call a vertical axis and a horizontal axis. The vertical up and down, and the horizontal goes across. Notice over to the right-hand side we have the legend, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. I'm going to change the color to make this have a little bit more contrast. So I'm going to go up to the top, and let me change it to something that's a little bit more bold here. So notice we have the quarters over here. That's actually the legend, and it gives us a color of the bar and what it relates to. So we can see just in this first series that quarter 3 Australia had the highest rating there. So that's how you would read these. What I also want to point out is the different types of graph. In this particular graph, we're using a bar graph, and notice what it's really telling you. It's comparing all the elements from Australia, meaning the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter. So it's comparing groups of data. Now, if we picked a different type of graph, let me change the chart type. I'm just going to come up here to change chart type and click on that. And I'm going to select a line graph. And line graph is going to give you a little bit different scenario here. Now let's look at a pie graph. A pie graph compares sizes to the whole. So let's just take one particular column and graph that out. So I'm going to get rid of this particular graph. And to do that, I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to hit delete. And here what I want to do is just highlight. So I have the legend plus quarter 1. And let's go up and select insert and then pie graph. There's a pie right here. And let's be adventurous. Let's do the 3D pie. Okay, and I'm going to move it out of the way again. And notice it compares to the whole. So it's telling you what shape or what the percentage of each value is compared. So if you notice, France is a lot bigger than India. Looks like even this pink area, USA, is a lot bigger than the other. So that's what a pie chart does for you. It compares sizes of pieces. Remember that for the quiz. Now you can get a little bit more adventurous with the pie chart by doing what they call an exploding pie chart. And if you notice in this particular version, they actually have it already created for you. So I can pick any of these here, and you notice it's now exploded. It's now outward. And you can also just do one piece as well. You don't have to do the whole thing. So you can spend some time playing with graphics. This one's a little bit better. Actually, I like that one even better. And you can manipulate it, change. You just want one, and it's a matter of just placing your cursor. If I place it here, I get all of the different text boxes. I don't want the text boxes. I want to click in another area. Now I'm actually just getting that one piece. So there's a lot of different ways that you can play with the pie chart and exploding pie chart, and basically change it to how you want, what emphasis you want to put on your data. That's what graphing is all about. What do you want to emphasize in your data? Okay, so let's change it back to a bar graph and just show you a few things. So I'm going to change the chart type and change it back to a bar. And just double click that, and of course it's manipulated because of the different things I changed in the layout. So we'll just change it back. And again, I'm just doing the one item here because I didn't change how I was doing it there. But what I wanted to mention to you is notice up on top you have a green bar which says Chart Tools. And let's look at the items on there because we have Design, which gives you the chart styles and the layouts. We have a Layout, which now gets you into changing chart titles, axis titles, legends, where you want them, data labels. Those are all the elements that make up this graph. And this is where you'll go to make those changes. If, for instance, if I wanted grid lines on it, maybe I want primary lines, major, grid lines, primary vertical, minor. Notice now I'm getting grid lines on there, and that's a visual so that you can see where your items are hitting. Okay, so all different kinds of items that you have that you can manipulate. We can use our chart title. We don't want a chart title, take it off, right? Click on Center Overlay, Quarter 1. Maybe you want to add something to that. Maybe Quest Specialty Travel. Okay. And we could add another title if we wanted to quickly on there just by adding a text box. Click on text box. I think this is one of the exercises that you were doing. Text box. And notice I've got it there. And then I can just say quarter, right? Yeah, Quarter 1. I got my fingers on the right keys would be all right. Quarter 1. Now notice how small it is, and I also probably want to change it to a contrasting white color so it shows. So I'm going to highlight that, just as you would in any Word document or any other type of editing. We can go and we can change it. Let's do it to white lettering. Notice now it's getting there, and then I can just hit that upper font, and I can also hit center, and we can move this around on our screen until you find where you want it and place it. So as you can tell, once you get the chart actually going, right, when you get it going, then it takes a while, just to figure out how you want things. But what if I change data over here? Let's say I made a change on this and I made it 60,000, right? Did it change my chart? Of course it did. It changed the chart right here, okay? Now, I can't change it here. I cannot change data here, but any data that I change inside the chart, the worksheet itself, will change my data, okay? So as I mentioned, I can change any of those items, and I only have right now Quarter 1, so even if I change that to 50,000, okay, and notice now that jump because it's way larger than the other. So just remember that you can actually change your worksheet and it modifies your chart without having to do anything extra. Now you can make changes in your data, but notice when I went outside of the data, I'm no longer inside of the chart. To reselect the chart, because notice all that's gone up top, I have to click on the chart. And as soon as I do that, I get the green bar, and now I can go back in and manipulate what I want to change. Now, the one thing they cover in your text is the colors. So, and it's based on the design that you're using. Maybe you want the bars a different color. You'll be able to do that. The other item, if you want to move your chart, okay, where do you want to move it? Do you want to move it to a new sheet? So what is that? If I click on new sheet, what's going to happen? What I want you to do is look at the bottom. We have sheet 1, sheet 2, and sheet 3. And I'm going to click OK. And notice what happened is the chart 1 is on its own worksheet. Okay, if I click on sheet 1, I'm back to the data. Sheet 2, we didn't have anything. So very easy to move your chart on a special worksheet of its own. And sometimes you want to do that because you just don't have enough room on your worksheet to work with all those charts. So you may want to put those on a separate worksheet. Okay, so charts look a little bit more complicated than they are. And actually the new sections, the new actual releases of Excel have made it easier and easier since 2003. So that's the lessons for this week. So work through the activities. The more you play with the graphics, the easier it is. Till next time.